Hey guys, it's Kyle with Reviewed.com and I'm here with the D7200. So it's Nikon's flagship aps-c camera, replaces the D7100. You can pick it up for around $1,200 body only. And the biggest difference on this camera is they've added a new X-Speed 4 processor, which is the same processor that you see in the Nikon D4S, except it's tailored just for the D7200. So the D7200 is kind of in a weird spot because it sits between the D610 being a full frame camera above it and the D5500 being a lower end aps-c camera below it. The advantages of this camera over the D5500 are the weather sealing and the fact that it has a motor built into the camera that lets you focus with non-DX lenses as well. So any Nikon autofocus lens throughout history you can use with this camera. The advantage over the D610 is it's a little cheaper, and since it's an aps-c sensor, you're going to get 50% more effective reach on all your lenses. One great thing about this camera is it has the same type of processor that you find in Nikon's flagship full-frame camera, the Nikon D4S, and that processor made most of the performance changes on this camera. It expanded their ISO range, it increased the buffer. You can actually shoot 3 times as many shots on a single continuous fire as you could previously on the D7100. With the new ISO range, you can actually now shoot from 100 to 25,600 ISO by default, and then there's 2 additional boosts that takes you up to 50 and 100,000 ISOs. The images from the boosted ISOs actually look pretty cool. They're black and white only, and the grain really adds a little filtery look to it. It's definitely bulkier compared to other Nikon aps-c cameras. That's because it has the built-in focus motor, but it has a deep grip, and if you've used any other Nikons recently, you're gonna feel right at home with this guy. The layout's the same. Video-wise, it shoots 1080p 30 frames per second at DX and 1080p 60 frames per second at the 1.3 crop mode. I think adding an articulating touchscreen would have been a big difference maker, especially since they're already gearing it towards video users. Without it, it's a good camera for video, but with it, it would have been a great camera for video. We really like the camera. It really tested well. It's one of the best aps-c cameras we've gotten into our labs. But since it stands in such a weird part of the market, it's kind of hard to see who's going to buy this camera. Outside of wildlife photographers and sports photographers that are on a budget and don't want to buy a D4S or something like that, then you're really not going to look in the market for this. You're just going to step down to the D5500 or up to a full frame D610.